Hello, good day and welcome to my channel. Now we have this sword here, system of sword here to simplify. So what we are going to do is to take the LCM of the denominators, this and this, and a way of taking this LCM is just to multiply the two terms that we have there. So I'm simply going to rule a line now and then take this first one here, which is 4 root 3 plus 3 root 2, and then multiply by the second term, which is 4 root 2 minus 2 root 3. Now, what I'm going to do is this LCM now divided by this. When this divided by this will cancel itself. So it's just like carrying this and you put under this. So this will cancel itself and we are left with this. So we now use this to multiply the numerator, just like when we are adding fractions. So if I write this one now, which is 4 root 2 minus 2 root 3, which is what is left when we use this to divide this will be left, and then multiply the numerator that we have there, which is 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3. And then the sign here plus. And then when I use this to divide this, it's just like carrying this and you put it under here. And then what happens? This will cancel itself and you are left with this. So you now use this to multiply the upper part that we have here. That is the numerator. So it becomes this which is left. When you use this to divide this, this is left. So you have 4 root 3 plus 3 root 2. That is what is left. Then that will be multiplying this upper part, which is 3 root 2 plus 3 root 3. That is what it's left there. So now we are going to simplify the denominator and then we also simplify the numerator. So now to expand this bracket, I'm going to use this to multiply this. Please, when you are multiplying, the constant term outside the root sign multiply each other, and the terms in the root sign also multiply each other. So 4 multiplied by 3, that will give me 12. And then root 2 multiplied by root 2, that will simply give me 2. Please don't forget, the same term multiplying itself will just be the term inside the root sign. So root 2 multiplied by root 2 is simply 2. The root sign disappears. And then the next thing is to use this 4 root 2 to multiply negative 2 root 3. So this multiplied by this, don't forget the negative sign will remain. So 4 multiplied by 2, that should be 8. And then root 2 multiplied by root 3, that will give me root 6. This time the root will not disappear because the two numbers are different. So you simply write the root and multiply the numbers inside the root. So root 6. And then this one now, we have used this to multiply the two terms inside this bracket. So we are now going to use this to also multiply the two terms in this bracket. So this negative 2 root 3 multiplied by 3 root 2, we have negative 2 multiplied by 3. That will give us negative 6. Negative 6. And then negative 6. And then root 3 multiplied by root 2. That will give us root 6 as well. Then this multiplied by this, negative multiplied by negative, and you are left with positive sign. So this will become positive. And then 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. The negative sign multiplied by negative sign has become positive. Then root 3 multiplied by root 3, since they are the same, you simply take just the 3 in the root sign. So that will be 4 multiplied by that. And then now we move on to the second pair of brackets. So that becomes plus 4 root 3 multiplied by 3 root 2. The 4 multiplied by 3 will give me 12. and then root 3 multiplied by root 2, that should be root 6. And then 4 root 3 multiplied by 3 root 3. We have 4 multiplied by 3 is 12, so it is plus sign 12. And then root 3 multiplied by root 3 is simply 3. Then the next one, 3 multiplied by 3, that will be 9, plus 9. And then root 2 multiplied by root 2 is simply 2, without the root sign. And then finally, 3 multiplied by 3 is 9 as well. 9. And then root 2 multiplied by root 3, that will be root 6. So that is the numerator part. Then we also do the same simplification with the denominator. So I have 4 root 3 multiplied by 2, 4 root 2, that is 4 multiplied by 4 will give me 16. Then root 3 multiplied by root 2 will give me root 6. And then 4 root 3 multiplied by negative 2 root 3. The 4 multiplied by negative 2 should be negative 8. And then root 3 multiplied by root 3 is simply 3. Then 3 multiplied by 4, that will give me positive 12 because the two numbers are positive. Then root 2 multiplied by root 2 is 2, without the root sign. Then 3 multiplied by negative 2 will give me negative 6. And then root 2 multiplied by root 3 will be root 6. So we can now simplify further and see what we have. So coming to the numerator here, 12 multiplied by 2, that will give me 24. I have 24 there. Then this remains 8 root 6. Then this remains 6 root 6. This will be 12. That's positive 12. This remains 12 root 6. This will become 36. 12 times 3, that is 36. 9 times 2, that will be 18. And then 9 times root 6 remains 9 root 6. And then all over, simplifying the denominator part now, I have 16 root 6. And then minus, this is 24. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 24. This multiplied by this will be 24. And then 6 minus 6 root 6. So that is what I have there. And then moving on now, looking at the denominator, let's add the constant terms together and then add the terms in root 6, because the terms in root 6 are like terms, while the constant terms are also like terms. So 24 plus 12, that will give us 36. 36 plus 36, that is 72. And then 72 plus 18, that is 90. So I have 90 there. Then negative root 8 added to negative 8 root 6 added to negative 6 root 6. That will give me negative 14. Added to this, I have negative 2 root 6. And then added to this, I have positive 7 root 6. So plus 7 root 6. Then all over negative 24 plus 24 will give me 0. So this and this cancel, 0. Then I have 16 root 6 minus 6 root 6. That will give me 10 root 6. 10 root 6. Then the next thing to do, in order to rationalize this surd, in order to rationalize this denominator, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this root 6, this term in the root sign. I'm going to use it to multiply both the numerator and the denominator. So I have 90 plus 7 root 6, all multiplied by root 6, then over 10 root 6, all multiplied by root 6, in order to rationalize the denominator. So expanding the bracket now, I have 90 multiplied by root 6, that will give me 90 root 6. Then 7 root 6 multiplied by root 6, I have plus 7. Root 6 multiplied by root 6 is 6 without the root sign. Don't forget the 7 is a constant term there outside the root sign, so I simply write it. Then the root 6 multiplied by the root 6 will give me 6 without the root sign. And then all over root 6 multiplied by root 6, that will be 6. So I have 10 multiplied by 6. This 10 here, root 6 multiplied by root 6 is simply 6. So going further, what I have next will be 90 root 6, 90 root 6, then plus 7 multiplied by 6 is 42, then all over 60. All over 60. Now, the next thing for me to do, I can separate these two fractions now. I can separate this into two fractions. So that will be equal to 90 root 6 all divided by 60. In order to separate into fraction, what you simply need to do is to use this numerator and divide the denominator, and then take the sign that is there, and then use this numerator to also divide the denominator. So this 60 divides each of the denominator, and then that break it into two fractions. So I have 42 over 60 now. Then if you check this, 30 divided by 30 can go into 90 and 60. So 90 divided by 30, I have 3, and then you have root 6 there. All over 60 divided by 30, I have 2. So in its lowest term is 3 root 6 over 2. Then plus, in 42 and 60, 42 can divide 6, and that will give me 7. All over 60 can divide 6, and that will give me 10. So this will now give the final answer. We cannot simplify this further. We don't need to add to give a single fraction again. We can leave it in this form. And so this is the final answer. So please subscribe to this channel so that you can get more detailed videos like this. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.